Hey there, viewers, thank you for tuning into Supermariodiagnostics once again. Today we are working on a 2012 Hyundai Veloster, and the customer's concern is that a check engine light is on, it's running rough, and I went ahead and checked for codes, and we've got a P0300 and a P0302 cylinder 2 misfire. So we're going to go ahead and recreate the symptom first thing. Let's go ahead and get it started. But first, this is a GDI, and I suspect that there's going to be cylinder deactivation, but just in case there is, I'm going to clear the code first. So I'm going to go ahead and just hit clear codes, and then we're going to go ahead and get this car started. All right, so we got no more codes. I'm going to leave this at the ready. Perfect. So we got no codes, and we're going to go ahead and start it up. We're going to cycle the key real quick. And I guess I forgot to turn on my maintainer. It feels pretty smooth at this time. Very smooth. No misfires felt yet. It feels like a bit of a roughness starting to creep in. We're going to check codes still. No codes. Oh, we got the check engine light. I could barely feel it, to be honest with you. And we have our cylinder 2 misfire. And the check engine light just went away. I did not clear codes. It's starting to get incrementally worse. So this kind of makes me think that there's something. Just the fact that it incrementally creeps in makes me really shy away from an ignition issue. Or a mechanical issue. But it wouldn't hurt to oh yeah, a little bit of the backstory I forgot. The customer changed the injectors apparently, and somebody did some work here, I guess we could call it. They did some work here, they did some wiring stuff. But the fact, I don't suspect that that's an issue, because if wiring was an issue, let's say one of these were a problem, first of all, you'd probably have a blown fuse, and then on top of that, you'd have a dead miss from the get-go. It wouldn't be incrementally creeping in. I do want to do a bit of an RC test, and it looks like they left a bunch of stuff apart. And I'm going to disconnect that right there. That's going to be our RC test. And we're just going to listen and make sure that we have no compression issues. The idea is that since we disconnected the injector so that it wouldn't start, and we just want to listen to the cranking rhythm. And ideally, the starter is putting the same amount of load against each compression event. And if there was one that was lower than the rest, it would stick out. So we're listening for a good uniform cranking rhythm. So let's go ahead and do that. The battery was kind of low. I should probably put my maintainer on, actually. There we go. Whoops. Totally forgot to put that on earlier. Out. Sounds beautiful. Sounds beautiful. The variable is now that the injector was replaced. What I would like to see is, because I'm fairly certain this has cylinder deactivation. So let me go ahead and reconnect my injectors actually. So now we're gonna check I would like to check our fuel trims, honestly. Let's see if this is even gives us anything. Nothing. Adaptation, fuel adaptation, part load. I'm not even familiar with that, to be honest with you. I don't really look at these cars much. Let's see what it does. Well, I kinda gotta clear my codes first. Let's see, let's go ahead and start it up. No check engine light. It seems to get better when we let it sit and then it creeps up again. I've got my eye on not only this fuel adaptation, but also the check engine light, which still has not come on. Still nothing. Oh, there it goes. And that is completely useless. So we're gonna have to go to the EOBD side. Let's go to the EOBD side. And we're gonna go to scan, EOBD. Hit enter. I'm gonna make sure there's no fault codes. Then we're gonna go to live data. Then we're gonna go to trim. That's more like it. Make sure our trims are at 0% with the key on, right? Because if that's not at 0%, then there's some kind of a reset that must take place, or there could be further issues. I'm gonna go ahead and start it up. Usually a misfire, if it was an ignition misfire, you'd expect to see, because oxygen sensors only read oxygen. And if there's unburnt fuel, there's also unused oxygen. So we got a full rich condition. This is a lean correction, right? It's removing fuel due to a rich condition. And our check engine light is not on yet. Usually in cylinder deactivation, I would expect it to be, there it goes. I would expect it to go lean, but look, it reset on me. It went open loop, I'm pretty sure. So this is a good direction for us. And, you know, like I was saying, an ignition misfire or a lean injector misfire usually typically results in a lean fuel trim correction. Well, not correction, a lean condition, resulting in adding fuel, so a rich fuel trim correction, so a positive fuel trim number, because there's unburnt fuel along with unused air. It is still oxygen going through the oxygen sensor. So that might be a little counterintuitive, that can throw some people off, because people forget that an oxygen sensor literally only reads oxygen. This tells me that there may be a fuel delivery issue with the injector, and then on top of that we have a gradual onset of that. It could be just dripping. Maybe it's dripping, I don't know. And then on top of that we have the added variable that the customer replaced the injectors. I don't know if it was just a cylinder 2 misfire before that, and in an attempt to remedy that, these injectors were replaced, and then we still have a cylinder 2 condition, misfire condition, or if there was something else going on. So we're gonna have to, I would like to do a secondary ignition waveform as well, analysis, so that we can have kind of 2 arrows against this bullseye before we condemn the injectors, because they are GDI injectors. We would have to go and take off the intake manifold in order to access them and replace them. and obviously we're going to go with an OE part, so the most fully updated part possible. Let's go ahead and do some secondary ignition waveform analysis. I'm going to clear the code for the time being, and then I'll go ahead and get up there and check it out. I had just cleared the codes, and right now I don't see any misfires. I'm checking number 1, back to number 2. Starting to get a little shaky, and every now and then I see that little nose disappear from the end of the burn line. That doesn't really happen on number 1. It may have gone into cylinder deactivation. Let me go ahead and check the codes. Yep, let me go ahead and clear the codes. Yep. It's really hard to get it on camera, but I'm gonna see if I can get it for you guys. Especially trying to hold the camera too. Get it going to cylinder deactivation. Yep. Clear the codes. See, it's missing that nose, whereas this one never does that. So that's 2 nails on that coffin. It may have gone back to cylinder deactivation at this point. It's got a downward slope. I'm calling it. This thing needs an injector. So we're gonna go ahead and try to get customer approval and get back to you guys. We got our old injectors out, and apparently these are Amazon injectors, and they say Hyundai Kia on them. And yeah, maybe they bought them used, I don't know. They didn't look new to me. They look pretty worn. Anyway, we got our brand new injectors in there, and it is as smooth as glass, and I couldn't be happier, and I'm sure the customer will be too. Let me go ahead and check codes anyway. No codes. It's been running for some time now. We got no shakes, and yeah, 1 for the books. Not too many injector issues you see out there, and turns out we talked to the customer, they were chasing the same issue. Cylinder number 2, misfire. And in an attempt to resolve that issue, they replaced all of the injectors with Amazon injectors. Take it for what it is. And it had the same issue. Go figure. I love Amazon. But I wouldn't ever buy like spark plugs, injectors. I wouldn't buy those kind of things online. I just wouldn't. The OE manufacturers, in this case Bosch or whatever, they have a hard enough time as it is bringing out quality parts nowadays. How am I gonna put my trust on some like random set of parts online? Let me not get into all that. It's fixed. Customer's gonna be happy. I could go on for days about, questionable part suppliers, but yeah, that's not. I'm pretty happy with this. The customer's gonna be ecstatic. So thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me on this one. Things to look for in an overly generous injector. It wasn't dripping. It was not dripping. I did mark them here. Number 2. Number 2, that is the culprit right there. Does not look brand new. This may have been just a second-hand set. And the part numbers were different, actually. Part numbers were different. So they may have put the wrong set in there. So yeah, it's a man-made issue. May not be very common out there, but it does happen. Things happen when people try to take it upon themselves to do certain things. You know, you mean well, you want to save money, we're with you, but you have discrepancy in parts quality, the correct parts, the compatibility issues, all these things that are variables that in a shop are much more mitigated. They're not perfected, but they are mitigated, and that's why we do what we do. That's why we have a shop. That's why we have certain vendors, certain suppliers. And yeah, I'm gonna check it one more time. Sweet. Thank you all for taking the time to watch. If you like what you see, hit that like button. Consider subscribing, leave a comment. Thanks for watching. Catch y'all next time. God bless you.